What did you do?
To do what?
So it's not.
Oh, I just turned the audio off. Again.
Yeah. Hey, Cousin Bill.
Hey, Mr. Bill. You in your man cave?
You're muted.
That's Nina's cousin.
Okay, there we are.
Hi, Bill.
Hi,
Hey,
Bill.
Dor.
Bill.
What do I look like on there? Am I looking down or is it like looking up at me?
Yeah.
Hello, Charles. This is Tom King from Knoxville checking in with you. How are you?
Hey, Tom. Hey, Tom.
Hi, Tom. Welcome from Victoria, British Columbia.
Hello, everyone. This is Francis and Jorge Garcia from Houston. We're Maria's parents.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you all.
What happened to Charlie? He disappeared.
I'm here. I just wasn't talking.
I just don't see you.
Oh, you might have to, I don't know. Usually it puts the person who's talking front and center, but maybe it's not doing that. Can
Yeah,
other
it's
people
not
see
doing
me?
it for me. You were there and then you disappeared.
No. Can other people see me or? Oh, let me do this too. Wow, nice.
So Tom, this is Eric's dad's Rotary Club clock.
Who is that?
That's I'm Chris's sister Lori, and Eric's showing you his Rotary clock that he inherited from his dad.
All I can see is Charlie. Oh, I see now. Oh, that's it. Oh, look at there. That's really pretty. That's pretty. Have you got a picture you could send to me?
Yeah, we'll take a picture and send it to you.
Okay, that'd be great. How are you?
We're good.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay. I heard about that clock. Chris had mentioned it to me.
My dad was, Rotary was his life. He was president of the Burlingame chapter for on and off, and he was never missed a Wednesday meeting, hated those damn fines. It was a very big part of his life. And so he's very happy when Chris, well, he's passed away, but he was up in heaven. He's very happy that Chris picked up the mantle.
Yeah. Chris said it was probably in her DNA, however it got there. I said, well, that's better than nothing. That's great. Let's see who else is in here.
Hi, Vicky.
Hi, Vicky. You're on mute. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Great to see you.
Wonderful faces.
Yeah. Hi, Ellie.
So this is Ralph. I don't know, a lot of you have met Ralph. So this is my husband, Ralph.
Hi, Ralph.
Hi.
Hello, Ellie Kinconi.
Ellie's there.
Hey, hi, how are you?
Bill's there.
So good to see all of you.
This is, who would have thought we could do this? This is like Jetson.
From all over North America.
Yeah.
My mom's still trying to figure this out. You're getting to get, how are you doing this? It's okay.
I think we're all still trying to figure it out, right?
Yeah.
And there's Sean's there.
Hi, Sean.
I think we have 38 people on now. It's good.
That's fantastic.
I think we're gonna give just a couple more minutes for people to filter in or deal with any software problems. But you feel free to just continue chatting. I think that's good use of time too.
So Charlie, this is Susan. If I'm looking at this on an iPad, if I were to log in on a laptop, would I be able to see everyone?
I would imagine laptop might be a little easier to use. I use it on the computer And what I see is like whoever's talking is kind of big front and center, and then there's about
Okay.
5 or 6 other panels at the top.
Because right now I'm only seeing about 18 faces, or, you know, 18 squares of whoever's online. But I know there are more people there.
Yeah, I mean with mine,
I
you
think,
can,
I think on the iPad, they sort of channel through.
They do what, Diana?
Well, they go through. Some of us come on, so off.
Okay.
On the
Let me
iPad.
try it. Let me try it that way.
It's 15 on it.
Yeah. But every so often it changes.
What do I do? Sorry.
I think for me on the computer, it kind of figures out who's the loudest and it puts them in the front in the big
Yeah.
picture. So computer might be easier, Susan, if you do choose to
So
do that.
Charles, you're on speaker view, which allows that. If you're in gallery view, it just tries to show everybody.
Oh,
On
okay.
speaker view, it'll show what it can, but whoever speaks will come up front and center, like you say.
Okay, yeah.
Bill, you are someone who uses Zoom. You got
All
it
the
down.
time, all the time, 3 or 4 times a day. Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, there's an arrow to the right to fill the next screen. So you can go toggle back, and you can't fill your screen. The other speakers are the back and forth.
Oh,
Eric,
there.
see the mustache go.
So Eric, you don't have a mustache anymore? And Thor, you don't have one?
Well, I shaved it off about 8 years ago.
You did, okay. Well, I remember I just haven't seen your face for a while.
And then grew back a beard during COVID, and about a month ago I shaved it. It's only hair.
Crystal, can you focus the screen on Tina a little bit better? There, that's better. Okay,
Oh,
that's Tina.
hi, Tina.
Tina.
Charlie, thank you for the invitation. So this is Christine and Larry and Thor from Winnipeg. We bring greetings from Canada.
Okay, well, great to meet you guys.
At least the center part, Bill and Ellie are on the West Coast.
Yeah. I went up to Canada about 20 years ago at this point, so it'd be nice to kind of visit again as an adult and meet all of you guys
Absolutely.
once the pandemic's over.
Yeah, just head straight north. You can't miss us.
Invitation's always there for family. Yeah.
No, thank you. I mean, yeah, same to you guys. If you ever want to come down to Texas or various other headquarters in the U.S.
If you dare to come to Southern California, you're always welcome.
Right now, not a good time.
Well, COVID problems here.
Been in code red for how many weeks now? 8 weeks? Yeah. COVID is really putting a damper on everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nursing home. Our mother is in a nursing home. She gets her shot next week.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Good.
The vaccine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
They've had 3 cases in the nursing home that she's in, but they didn't tell the residents because they would all go into panic mode. So we don't mention it to my mom.
Yeah.
But she's looking forward to getting her vaccine because she feels that if she gets the vaccine, that we'll be able to come and see her. Right now, we sit out in the parking lot and she's on the 2nd floor and we do the wave, and Larry put an extension cord on her phone so she
Talk to us.
talk to us while we're out there. So,
Oh,
It's hard. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
but she sends her condolences and much love to family.
oh, great.
Oh,
And give
thank you.
her our love too.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're going to go ahead and get started. It's about 3:05. So if everybody could mute, that would be great.
Yeah, we just changed all of our pictures. I mean, that's just down.
You mean you moved the whole?
Everything just sort of rotated. So. Well, I just want to say that it's hard to realize that life is going on without Chris. She was born when I was 18 months old, and she was always there. She was always a wonderful person, and I loved her, and I still love her very much. And I really appreciate you all coming to this ceremony, this Zoom ceremony.
Okay, I just want to go ahead and say thank you very much for coming today. Obviously, all of you were important to my mom. I'm her daughter, Diana, if you don't know, and you made an impact in her life. There's so much I could say about my mom. She was smart, kind, funny, practical, and successful. The list could go on and on, obviously. While I'm sad that she is gone, I'm trying to focus on the 36 years my mom and I had together. I'm also trying to be grateful that she had some time with her beloved grandchildren. My daughter, Ellie, who's 10 right here. And then my son, Sean, who's under Dana, the name Dana, which is my husband on here.
Is it good to go? All right. So yeah, my name is Charlie Camp. I'm Christine's son. This is my partner, Maria. We live in Austin, Texas. I also wanted to say thanks for coming. It means a lot to have you guys here. I know you guys all cared for Chris, and I know, she loved you and you loved her, but, it's just really nice to see everyone here. And I guess I want to say a couple words about Mom as well. Mom was a very caring person. She was very loving and attentive towards family. She always spent lots of her time and energy making sure that she was keeping in touch with everyone and talking with people and, showing people that she cared. She took several trips out to Austin, even though we've only been here for a couple of years. I know she went up to Baltimore to, visit Diana and her family on a regular basis. And she also went around the country and visited a number of other, friends and family, many of which are here in this meeting. And for me, Mom always let me know she was thinking of me. I always felt loved and cared for. She would just, if it was a text about an article she saw that made her think of me, or just asking about if we're all right with whatever storm was passing through Texas, or even, just to say hi. But, she was just a very caring person. I know she made me feel that I always felt very loved by her. I know it's kind of the same with pretty much everyone in her life. I know she was very good at keeping in touch with people and knowing that people felt, cared for and loved. So it means, like I said, it means a lot to have you guys here. It means a lot to us, and I'm sure it means a lot to Mom. I just want to say thank you. One little logistics note, there's a slideshow that I posted in the comments. You guys probably, most of you probably saw that. But that's, if you look in the comments section, to me it's on the right of the screen. I don't know where it is for everyone else's Zoom, but that's just a slideshow that will just open up in your browser, and it'll just kind of play. It'll start at the beginning for each person who looks at it. And if it pauses at any point, you can kind of move your mouse to the bottom left, and there's a little bar that will appear, and you can hit play again. So I think if you just click on the screen, it might pause it. So you'll have to hit play if you accidentally pause it. Does anyone not see the slideshow, or? Okay, do you guys just have like a comment section, maybe like a little comment window you can click on? Maybe at the bottom it says chat.
Oh, chat. Okay.
Chat.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys can also use chat if you have like just random questions. That's a perfect. I see Andrew just said hi. Hi, Andrew. Okay. Okay, well, I'll be in chat too, so if people have problems, I'll respond to him as well. But feel free to use the chat to kind of respond, like talk to us in a way that maybe that way we can do it without interrupting people that are talking. Okay, but so I'm gonna pass it off to Lori. I think she wanted to kind of give an intro about Mom, and so I'll go ahead and let her take it.
Hi, everybody. I actually wrote my comments, so I'll be reading from them and hope I can make them through there. So thank you. I tend to be kind of emotional, I'm afraid. Anyway. Family is very special. I was not starting well. I was the whoops baby my parents didn't plan on having. My parents already had 3 daughters, Ruth, Vicky, and Chris. Chris was the youngest of those 3 girls, and I am 6 years younger than Chris. I was welcomed and loved by them. Sorry. Chris was very kind and protective of me, even though I know I could be a pest and by all accounts cried a lot when I was little. You could ask our cousin Karen about that. She's the expert. I always cried every day. When I was in kindergarten, Chris was in the 6th grade and she visited me a lot on the kindergarten yard. I was so proud that she was my sister. As we grew older, even though I was younger than her, she treated me as an equal. Vicki, Chris, and I all had our children around the same time, and we had a lot of fun together when they were young, and we were all living in Southern California. Chris was always very smart. She had a very quick intelligence. Our dad was so proud that she went to Stanford. And her quick intelligence gave her a wicked sense of humor, and this continued even when she was so sick. Several times when I was with her as she was undergoing chemo, we doubled over in laughter when she said her wisps of blonde hair made her look like a Muppet. And sadly, they actually did. It was so funny. So anyway, but even then, Chris was very beautiful. Her beauty is for all to see in the photo slideshow Charlie prepared. But she never seemed aware of how beautiful she was, and that made her even more special. Chris always had a strong work ethic, and when she was in a high school student, she was a natural leader in various organizations and clubs, and she enjoyed playing bridge even then. We worked together for a professor at Stanford while she was a student there and I was in high school. And that was my first job. And I learned a lot from her about how to work hard. Chris loved her job at DNARC and had great respect and admiration for her coworkers and bosses. She also really enjoyed Rotary and appreciated the opportunity to lead the group and travel the world. But all of this is not to say that Chris did not have a life without ups and downs. But she had great strength and resiliency to handle the challenges life handed her. Our dad lost his health in the 1960s, and our parents had huge financial challenges that affected all of us. And our dad died in 1969 when Chris was a college freshman. When Chris and Dave's first child, Tina, was born, they had no idea she had Down syndrome, yet they handled that challenge and lifelong commitment with great grace and love. It hit us all very hard when our mom died in 2003. And of course, worst of all was her devastating
pancreatic cancer diagnosis in 2019. After Chris and her family moved to Knoxville in the mid-1990s, we didn't see too much of each other. We were busy raising our families. We saw each other at big family events, weddings, funerals, and family reunions. Twice, Vicki and I traveled with Chris to the Pacific Northwest to visit our Aunt Eva and her children, and we had great times together.
In a very odd way, Chris's illness was such a gift to me as we renewed our sisterly bonds when I came to stay with her as she was undergoing treatment. I was always happy when she took that big sister role and became a little bossy, as big sisters sometimes do. Then I knew she was feeling better. Chris showed me such grace under tough circumstances. Even as she took cancer treatments and recovered from serious infections, she kept her sense of humor, worried about her family, was concerned that everything was being taken care of at her job, and really missed her Rotary friends. I've been so impressed with Charlie and Diana and how they have handled the very sad loss of their mom.
I cannot thank you enough for the love and support you gave her and for organizing this Zoom for all of us. She loved you so much, and your families too. Dana, Ellie, Sean, and Maria. She was so happy that Charlie and Maria are engaged. I admired Chris my whole life. I love and miss you, and I also loved and missed her too.
Thank you.
Thank you guys, that was beautiful.
Thank you so much. So today we come together to honor my mom and celebrate her life. Everyone here will have an opportunity to share something about her if desired. It could be a memory or advice she gave or anything that comes to mind. If you share, please be sure to introduce yourself and how you know my mom. Also, please stay on mute when others are sharing. Thank you. So Charlie, we're just kind of doing no certain order, right?
Yeah, I feel free for all is just, I think it's very casual. We're all friends now. So yeah, I say just do free for all and just, if you're ready to talk, just kind of speak up. And if, there might be moments where we just kind of sit and wait for someone to get ready, and that's fine too.
Is it okay if I start? I just have a real quick thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's free for
Okay.
all.
Okay, so my mom was one of the wisest people I've ever known. I went to her for advice about everything. And I decided to come up with a list of Chris's top 5 life lessons. So my first one was, she always said, wake up every day grateful for what you have. And she certainly did that even when she was battling one of the most aggressive cancers. Number 2, don't burn bridges, especially at work. That was a really important lesson because I've worked in a couple of schools that were quite difficult. So I held my tongue quite a bit. Number 3, no one's life is perfect. Everyone has their issues. When I was younger, I was always convinced the grass was greener on the other side for everybody. And she definitely opened my eyes that that is not true. 4, you can do something hard when you're fully ready to do it. She was able to quit smoking cold turkey after so many years because she was just ready emotionally to do it. And that was just, to me, an amazing thing. And number 5, be nice to Diana. We would have many late night conversations in middle school, high school about, things that I was upset about. And I would wake up in the morning and she would always put a Post-it note on my bathroom mirror and it would say, be nice to Diana. So those are just the top 5 things that I feel like I've learned from my mom.
Chris, my name is David Camp. Chris and I were married for 40 years and we raised 3 beautiful children, and Chris was a wonderful mother.
Hello, my name is Christina Bailey, and I knew Chris through our neighborhood West Haven Village HOA, and she was a godsend. She had a lot of experience. Obviously, she was our treasurer, but she was also someone we enjoyed having conversations with over a glass of wine, talking about neighborhood woes and how to go about. She basically gave us a whole bunch of guidance and advice based on her expertise on how to move forward with our HOA, and it was very much appreciated. I would say she always bragged about her children as well, so it was nice to hear about her children and other things going on beside our HOA. We really appreciated Chris's friendship, and we're really sad to have lost her. And our hearts go out to her children and all her friends.
Hi, my name is Susan Barry, and I met Chris back in Knoxville, Tennessee. My youngest son, Andrew, and Charlie were tied at the hip. Charlie was always coming over to our house, and Andrew was always going over to the Camp's house. And I just appreciate so much that Chris was almost like a second mom to Andrew, that she put up with them spending the night with each other, playing video games, building tree forts. And I was just so devastated to learn that Chris had passed, because I didn't know that she had been ill. And I struggled with whether or not I should even tell that to Andrew, because I was afraid that it would just devastate him so much. I'm sorry for crying. I didn't know Chris that well, but I just appreciate the kindness that she showed to my son. And I just am so thankful for the bond that that Charlie and Andrew shared together. The times that I was over at their home, Chris was always so gracious to me. And I just I'm so thankful that I got a chance to meet her.
I'm Dennis Perry. I'm a cousin of Chrissy's. In fact, that's what we called her, Chrissy, when I knew her. She's a year older than I am, and when my mother and Chris's mother were very close, and we went to their house often when we all lived in California. We were only 10 or 15 minutes apart, and my relationship with Chris is mainly when we were kids, and we would go for Christmas Eve or Christmas night or other times during the week. And she always had, she was always happy, always excited, and she always had a million great ideas of things to do. And so I was just a stooge who would follow her around and have a blast doing all the things that she thought up that we could do. We would, sometimes we would even be there during the day. We would get out in the front of her yard and act like we were statues as people drove by, all kinds of goofy things like that. And she was a lot of fun. And so she was an important memory to my youth, and it was fun to have that relationship. We did see each other a little bit as we got older. And when she was at Stanford, she was organizing like a dance or something. And I played in a blues band. And so she asked me to bring my band. So we went down there and played, and it was a lot of fun until somebody pressed some button that started an alarm going, and we all scattered. I don't know what was going on there. Anyway, Chris is just a wonderful memory, and I'm so grateful to have her in our family and be her cousin, and along with all of her wonderful sisters as well. And I'm glad so many of you are here to honor the great person that she was and is.
Charlie?
Yeah.
This is Tom King in Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm a past president of the Farragut Rotary Club, as Chris was. And I got to know Chris pretty well in Rotary the years we were together. But I really got to know her after her diagnosis with pancreatic cancer. And when the family was not here, I had some wonderful times with Chris when I was taking her back and forth to her treatments at the University of Tennessee Medical Center. And there were a lot of those, and excuse me. They are memories forever etched in my heart, the time I had with her. And I wrote a column about Chris. Reading it now may be more difficult than when I wrote it. And she said some things to me that showed her strength, her love of life. And Charlie was right when he mentioned her love of family. But after several months, and I know a lot of you have probably never seen this column or anything, but I asked her one morning when we were to go to the hospital, how is she dealing with this pancreatic cancer? And she looked at me and kind of gave me that little Chris smile and said, I've wondered when you were going to ask me that. And her answer was incredible. And I wrote in the column that I was speechless. And those of you on this call who know me know that's fairly rare. She said, I take it one day at a time. I don't read anything about it. I don't Google it. I don't want to know everything. I take whatever comes to me day by day. I've not cried a single time, and I won't, although I think at some point she did. I refuse to feel sorry for myself. I reached out and kind of squeezed her gloved hand. It was cold and rainy this morning. And then she said one of the most profound things that I've ever heard anyone in my life say. She said, I'm not going to be dead while I'm living. I was speechless. We just looked at each other and smiled. And it was a deep friendship, a loving friendship, and she had a profound influence on my life. Thanks, Charlie.
All right, thank you, Tom. I also want to say thanks to everyone who's shared so far. I know after spilling your guts out, the silence is kind of awkward, and we're all kind of getting used to Zoom. But I just want to say thank you for everyone who's shared so far, and thank you, Tom. But yeah, go ahead and feel free to jump up again.
I don't think anyone's going to want to follow Tom, so I'll try to very shortly. I encourage people, if that column, Charlie, could be maybe added to the comments or something. I know it was posted on Facebook, and it was a very moving comment.
I was looking for it, Diana. Would you be able to find that and post it in the comment section, maybe, Diana? But yeah, we'll get that posted in the next couple minutes.
It was just very, very well done. Yeah, I was very fortunate. I'm obviously Lori's husband, and was very fortunate to marry into this Thor family. Amazing women. I got the youngest, but they're all very impressive. Vicky and Chris were just amazing women, and Chris was very special to me. She was very businesslike, and since I'm a business guy, when we could talk business and counting and stuff like that. But I just loved teasing her. I mean, she had a wicked sense of humor. And one of my memories was we had a good time back there right before Thanksgiving. It was wonderful. All the family got together. Vicky and Ralph came out. Even unbelievable, their son flew in for the day. It was actually a wonderful time. Chris was on her game. And I remember near the end one time, she was sitting on the couch, and she'd really ridden the occasion. She was complaining she was tired. And I said in front of everyone, "What the hell? You've just been sitting on the couch all day." And I'm thinking to myself, okay, but she just thought that was hilarious because she got the sense of humor. She was just a very impressive woman. And yes, and miss her greatly. But I know, again, as I've said earlier, gosh, she loved her job. She talked a lot about the people she worked with and her community there in Knoxville, and then the Rotary thing. So she is missed. But I want to make sure she was a very fun. She had a great sense of humor.
All right, thank you, Eric.
I think the last time we saw Chrissy was
To
when,
introduce yourself.
I'm Christine. I'm Goodmanson. I am Chrissy's cousin with my brothers, Thor and Larry. The last time you came through, the girls came through Winnipeg with your mom in the 70s, early 70s, because I found a picture the other day and it was showing us all together.
I think it's 1969.
Yes.
Yeah. And I remember being always amazed with you all had sisters. I had no sisters. I had 3 brothers. It just was like, so it was just amazing to see you all. And when we would get to come out to the coast and visit, my dad loved nothing. His biggest holidays were getting together with family. And I feel that way today, is family means seeing all these faces of Karen, Dennis, Bill and Ellie, Vicky. It's so wonderful to see you. And we talked and of family and gatherings. Even though today there was so much different or distance between when we were growing up, but when we would get together as families, it was like time. You just continued where you left off. And thank you for letting us know that this was happening, and we can see you all and have very special memories of the Thor girls. There was like sisters I never had, you know. Thank you.
Just a side note, I remember I was just telling somebody about this a couple days ago when Dad and the family lived up in Flin Flon, which is where Christine, Larry, and I were born. There was this exodus from Flin Flon in the late 50s of the Goodmanson clan. And Uncle Larry moved to Brentwood, Auntie Vi and Auntie Flo, I think we're into BC, Vancouver, and Victoria. Bill, you can correct me, you're the historian. And Auntie Vi and Auntie Solvey moved to California. And I remember asking my dad, why did we come to Winnipeg? Everybody moved to the West Coast. You guys would send us pears and apples at Christmas time, and it was just, where do you grow this stuff? You can't grow it in Winnipeg. So, and Lori, I always appreciated your annual letter, as well as yours, Ellie, that kept us, it kept us connected, and I know we all appreciated that very much. And my takeaway from this is I hope we have the opportunity as family, Karen and Dennis and Vicky and Lori, and even if extended family, Bill and Ellie, you know, I would love to try and see if we could maintain this kind of connection going forward. You know, we're all getting a little bit whiter up top, and the years seem to go by a little quicker, and Chris is right, it's all about family at this time. And your sister, Chris, was very special to us. So, as you all are. And thank you for including us, Diana and Charlie. It really means a lot.
If I could add, those reunions, the reunions at Pender are even more special to me now.
Yeah.
And as Thor said, we're getting older, and it's unfortunate that the next generation has chosen not to continue the work that had been done by the last generation to have Pender Island reunions. I think Thor is onto something. In the absence of that is that this generation has an opportunity to stay connected through these communities, if nothing else, especially in light of the fact that most of us are going to have our challenges traveling, certainly for the foreseeable future. And even after COVID, hopefully, some sense of normalcy will return to our abilities to stay connected with one another visibly, physically. But in the absence of that, maybe trying to stay connected like this, because as we said earlier, it's all about family. And we're so far apart, the chances of us trying to see one another, unless somebody's got a plan to do a reunion thing at Pender, and I'd be the first to sign on that sign-up sheet for the work of pulling it together. But in the absence of that happening anytime soon.
I look at Ellie and Bill's, Ellie's smiling.
She says, never again.
Been there, done that.
But thank you for including the Goodmansons in the plans to be with everybody here again today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, thank you guys.
For those of you who aren't family, our grandparents had 18 grandchildren. So we would get together for reunions, and Bob graciously opened his home at Pender Island in British Columbia for reunions for, I think, 3 or 4 times. And it was a really great experience to get together with him. I just want to say something about Chris's passing. I was with her in her hospital room when it was announced that Alex Trebek had passed. And that was one time she cried. She was very upset. And so we hugged a lot, and we reassured ourselves that we would see each other again, and that we would see each other again, especially with our family. And for that reason, it's especially significant that we were able to have those Pender reunions and the ones back when we were quite young.
Yeah.
And it would be lovely to continue this. I know that there's going to be a more intimate memorial with family later, and we can all have a chance to talk at that time. But I just want to let you know that she was really looking forward to seeing Mom again.
Yeah.
And it's going to be very special. And I'm sure that she's right now in Mom's and Dad's loving arms, and that she's at peace again. So thank you very much for everybody who came here. I'm her sister Vicky, by the way. We were the girls growing up, and so the girls are no more. So continue to keep her in my memory and think of her often. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Vicky.
I'm David Bluford from the Rotary Club of Farragut, and I got to know Chris in her time there. And from her Rotary family to you as family, thank you for allowing us to share this time with you. I got to know Chris through Rotary, and an event that Chris often participated in that I got to know her more so was on Thursday nights. We used to have the first Thursday or third Thursday of every month. We used to get together. We used to call it, because of a past president who started it, we called drinking with the president on Drinking with Fred on Thursday. And that's when Chris would join us. Now, for me, I'm a hospital chaplain and a Baptist minister, so drinking may not be on my agenda normally, but we got together and shared. And one of the things that I appreciated about Chris was she always seemed to come with a calm demeanor, no matter what was going on in her work or her activities. There was just a calming presence with her. And I appreciated that. And I appreciate the words that's been shared, as Tom shared, and we've got other past presidents and other Rotarians on here. She was represented what Rotary was about, is service above self. And she certainly demonstrated that in her life activities. And so we appreciated her being a part of our club and leading us during the time that she did. And thank you for allowing us to share this time.
Thank you, David. Anton, I don't know if it's for everyone else, but your sound's a little weird. Sounds a little chippy, or can't really understand you. Also. Or it's like you sound like a chipmunk. So you might have to. I don't know if you want to try another mic or. Yeah, it's not quite working. Yeah. If you go to preferences, I think you can test your mic. So maybe I don't know if you can like try a different mic or something. Or if you want to submit some words, I can read them for you as well. Yeah, I can't really hear you. Sorry. But if you can't get it working, you can submit words to me and I can read them for you if you'd like, Anton. So. No, it's you sound like a character from Don't Starve. If you wanna send me a written something, Anton, I can read it out and then people can see who it's coming from as I read it. That might be the easiest thing to do. If you want to just like send it to me in a text or something, that might be the best. Or write it in chat, but. Okay, thanks, Anton. So yeah, if someone else wants to go while he figures that out, or while you figure that out.
Hello, I'm Crystal Jones. Myself and my husband take care of Tina. We've known Chris and her family for almost 20 years. I was listening today and I read some of the Chrisisms, and I've heard a few of those over the years. Chris was almost like a mom to me and a grandparent to my boys. And she will be greatly missed. And we, are just, our hearts just go out to Charlie and Diana and Ellie and Sean and her sisters. She was a wonderful lady.
Thank you, Crystal. And this is Tina. This is our sister. And she has Down syndrome. Hi, Tina. I appreciate it. Thank you, Crystal.
Good afternoon, y'all. My name is Jim O'Brien, and I'm like Tom and some of the, well, actually, I was just counting. There's 10 of us here from the Rotary Club of Farragut on the Zoom call this afternoon. And as Tom indicated, I also am one of the past presidents of the Rotary Club of Farragut. And I also currently am honored to serve as the president of the Rotary Club of Farragut Foundation. Some of you may be aware that Chris's wishes were that if anyone had memorial donations that they'd like to make in her name, that at least one of the charities that she identified as recommended for donations was our foundation. And I thought that you all might be interested to know that at this point, the amount of money that has been donated in Chris's name is approaching $2,000. And there's more to coming in. So a lot of people certainly loved her, respected her, and are recognizing her with a donation. And those funds, I'm actually working with our current president now to try to identify how best to use those funds that has been donated in Chris's name. And there are a number of various opportunities that we have. But be assured that those funds will be well used on a Rotary project in Chris's name.
Okay, thank you, Jim. Judith, I think you might be muted if you're talking. I think I see you. I think you're still muted. Let me see if I can.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
I can't remember what I was going to say.
Sorry, I have usually used a regular. This is an iPad, and I'm not used to using the iPad for this. But I have not known Chris for a long time. I first met her through Farragut Rotary, and then she invited me to join in a book club that she had set up, and so I've only really known her for a few years. But I think of all the people I have ever met, she was the most, what I would say, the most together person. It's really wonderful to see all her family. She was so proud of you all. So it's great to see you all now. I think I'm left with just profound sadness that she has gone. And partly a selfish one, that she's someone I would really have liked to get to know more. And it was just cut too short. And secondly, I felt she had so much more to contribute through Rotary and generally to society. And it is so sad to me that she has gone. And I wish you all the very best. I know it's going to be very hard to live without her. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Judith. I think someone else was also going, so feel free to take the floor. But thank you, Judith, for those nice words. Okay, well, we can hang out for a minute if anyone else, and see if other people would like to share. It's, we're also happy to just have everyone, so there's no obligation to share. If you, other alternatives too are the obituary. So Anton asked if his sound is working. Anton, I think your sound is not working. Unless that was you talking when Judith was going. Yeah, so alternatives, we can get the obituary. I can send out the obituary. It's hosted online, and there's kind of a comment section. So if people want to leave thoughts there, or if you also just want to leave direct personal thoughts, you can send them to that email address that we have for Christine Camp Memorial. So if you do want to say something, but you're a little nervous to say something here, that's also fine. But I think I'll see if I can help Anton, and then otherwise we'll hang out for a couple minutes, and if people want to say something, then there's still plenty of time. So thank you guys.
Charlie, this is Tom King again.
Yeah.
Is there a link or a copy you are making of this?
Yeah, so I am actually recording this. So also with that, if you do not want to be in the recording, it was intended for family, but if other people want it, I can send it out. But also if you do not want to be in the recording, I can remove it later. So also please email the email address if you do not want to be in the final recording. But yeah, this is being recorded, and I'll make sure that's kind of in a safe place after it's done.
Yeah, once it's done, I would very much like to have a copy.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I'll get.
Thank you very much.
Would you publish it, or what? Would it just be for yourself?
I might share it with the club at some point.
Okay. Okay, that's probably fine. But yeah, so I guess that's something that I guess people should be aware of. But I mean, it's no different than a funeral, an in-person funeral where it might be recorded. But yeah, I'll let you know after this. But yeah, it is being recorded. So.
And I think it's safe to say that all of us in Farragut Rotary are thinking about you all. You're in our prayers. Chris had a profound impact on all of us.
Yeah.
And she will forever be part of our club and our hearts.
Chris, Bill Conconi here. Everybody hear me okay?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, good. Okay. No, greetings from Victoria, from Ellie and I. And my memories of Chris go way back to the day she was born. I was 9 years old. And I remember those first years when we're all living together in Victoria, or we were a little bit farther out in the peninsula. But the little house on Richmond Street in Victoria was a place for many sort of gatherings of family. And I've also remember the trips I've had the pleasure of making to California, and one trip down, we had a good visit with Lori and with Ruth, and drove across the Thousand Oaks, I think it was, and went and visited, the camps, and many very great memories of family. And I concur with all that's been said about Chris. She's a very, very special woman, something we can all sort of live up to and try to be in our own lives. And I just wanted to bring, I guess, just the warmest of thoughts from Canada and from family, and how much we all loved her. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Bill.
Hi, everyone. I'm Alexia. I'm Diana's friend from college. She used to joke that I was the dinosaur in college because I think I'm 3 years older than her, which she seems to think that that's an, ancient. But my memories of Chris are mostly that she was kind of she always had this stability with Diana. Diana tended to get very upset with me sometimes. And her mom would always remind her to please go easy on me because I was working something like 65 hours a week. But she was a great help to my husband. Actually, when we were still engaged, my husband was on his way down from Ohio to Asheville, North Carolina, and he got stuck in a snowstorm and he had the cat with him. And we're talking like 2 feet of snow. They shut the interstates down. And so I called Diana in a panic. I said, Toby has Max with him. No hotel will take him even if they have room. He's near Knoxville. Could he possibly stay with your parents? And they, of course, welcomed Toby and Max. And Max had to stay, I think, in the garage or the utility room because I'm not sure if Chris or Dave was allergic to cats. But they saved our butt in that snowstorm big time. I'm also quite thankful for Chris because she caused Diana to have a coffee machine in her house. Because there were several times where I visited Diana and I had to make a Starbucks run first thing in the morning. Diana does not drink coffee, neither does Dana. And Chris was I guess a little bit of a coffeeaholic like I am, and made sure that Diana and Dana always had coffee at their house. Very thankful for Chris's influence that Diana's still friends with me, even though I've moved now to Germany. Because I think back in the day when Diana threw her phone across the room because I was supposed to be in Knoxville and I was still in Asheville, that without Chris, Diana would have maybe given up on me. But also a funny memory is that I always wanted to call her Miss Camp, and she was very stern with me that I call her Chris, and that was very difficult being raised in the Southeast to call an adult by their first name and not Miss Chris. So I ended up calling him, I think, Chris and Super Dave. So Dave, you're always Super Dave to me. Diana hasn't told you. And yeah, they came to our wedding as well in Charleston, South Carolina. So that was nice. And kind of been following the whole struggle with Diana and keeping up with what was going on, and knew that her mom was a real fighter. But glad that Diana and Charlie are doing okay. Charlie, you still owe me a game of Egyptian Rat Screw, by the way, from Diana's wedding. I'm holding you to that. So the door is always open for you and your fiance, not your partner, in Germany. Come visit. And Diana, bring the kids, and Dana. We're only an hour and a half from the Audi factory. So love you guys, both of you.
Thank you, Alexia.
Charlie, are you engaged?
Yeah, I am. I said partners. I didn't want to draw attention away from.
So when did that happen?
I actually proposed to her right before we went to visit my mom. I guess this is a story worth sharing here, but yeah, my mom just always, every time I was there, she would ask me if we're engaged yet, because she had a cup and saucer, a piece of china, I think it was yellow rose, that she always wanted to give to Maria. So the last couple times I was there, she would ask, are you guys engaged yet? So I wanted, when I was heading over there in September, when she was, kind of feeling sick again after a long period of feeling all right. I was looking for a special time to propose, but ended up just kind of proposing in the kitchen on the last night in Austin. So,
and we celebrated with her too.
Yeah, we celebrated with my mom, and we had some family in there and Thanksgiving time. So it was, we were very careful though. We quarantined and had tests. But yeah, it was just important that we did it before, while she was still alive, and I think she made her happy, and I think we got some nice memories out of that. So
congratulations.
Okay, thank you. I think so. Now I can't hear anything, Anton, but your picture popped up, which means it might know. But this is Anton and Catherine, by the way. Anton's been my good friend for a very long time. It's kind of me and Anton and Andrew were three amigos for a bit, and Catherine is his wife.
There we
go. Okay, I can hear you now. All right.
Am I chipmunky or no?
No, you sound perfectly fine now. I don't know what happened, but yeah, you're good to go.
Great, fantastic. Well, yeah, as Charlie said, I'm Anton Smirnov. This is my wife, Catherine. I've been friends with Charlie since middle school, and you know, during the time when we were growing up in Knoxville, I was over at his house quite a bit, and he was over at mine. And even though, you know, I knew Chris as Charlie's mom, and I was the awkward one in the group, but I always remembered her as very kind, very patient, and very welcoming. So I really feel like hopefully she is at peace. She gets to rest, but the rest of us who are left are the ones who will miss her, and the world will miss her. But I think she left a lot to her children in terms of lessons, and just seeing the effect she had on everyone's lives who has spoken today, I think really lets me know her better than maybe perhaps I did while she was alive. And I think she passed on a lot of wisdom, a lot of patience, just seeing the grace with which Charlie and Diana have handled this very, very difficult time is inspiring, and I think emblematic of the way she raised them. So she will be remembered fondly, and may she rest in peace and in all of our hearts.
Okay, thank you, Anton.
It's very confusing when you want to like watch a memorial service.
Now they can hear everything you're saying.
Yeah, I think Sharon, I think you're unmuted right now. Were you going to share?
I want to be able to listen and see, but I don't want people to see me.
Okay, I think you're also, your microphone's unmuted. Are you sharing something, or just out of curiosity?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I was just checking. So to everyone, I posted Mom's obituary in the chat. So if you also feel more comfortable writing something about her, and also if you haven't seen the obituary, it's very nice.
No, it's very nice.
Yeah, but if you go to that link, there's a part, one of the tabs, which I guess is tributes, is where you can kind of write something about Mom if you feel more comfortable writing rather than having video.
Okay.
Hey, Charlie.
Yeah.
This is Frank Rothermel. And I'd like to I guess, speak to what it was like to work with Chris. She was our CFO, and a phenomenal CFO. And in fact, since Chris first went in for treatments back in July, we've kept that office right there for the entire time, knowing that you know, she was going to be our CFO forever. And as it ended up, that wasn't how things turned out. But in the construction business, it's feast or famine, and there were times when it was really tough. And obviously, the CFO is the one that has to deal with all the money. She had all those responsibilities, and yet she never let it weigh too heavy on her. And she really just did an amazing job. And I want Diana and Charlie to know how proud she was of both of you. She, in fact, probably bragged excessively about both of you, and it would be hard for you to live up to those what she told me about you when I finally got to meet you in person. But on behalf of the Denark team, we'll forever miss her. And she was really special. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Frank. Okay, we'll give it a minute or two to give people, if there's anyone else that has a chance to say anything.
Hi. It's Ellie from Victoria,
Yeah.
Bill's wife. I didn't get to know your mom until she was in her 20s or thereabouts. And I just recall their visits to Victoria and how I think she and Vicky probably would rather have been in California, but they kind of tolerated the trip to Victoria. And I didn't get to know your mom that well. I think the next time I would have met her would probably have been, I'm going to say maybe the reunion. Well, no, I guess some of our trips to California and then at the reunion for sure. But I do remember particularly being visiting Eric and Lori and your mom bringing you children over, and you were children, you were Diana and Charlie, you were young, and how Annalise and everybody played and the cousins just all loved each other. And I think, again, that's a tribute to the strength of your parents and what they taught you about family. And I think the Thor Goodmanson family have had very strong connections throughout the years, and it is unfortunate we're so far apart and that we haven't got the energy that we had a few years ago to have another reunion. But I probably could still cook a meal if you all came. We could make something happen. So we won't say it'll never happen. We'll say when it happens, I'm ready. And it was great to see you all, and I'm so pleased, Diana, that we have another Ellie in the family. I remember when she was born, hearing that, and from your mom that we have another Ellie in the family. So that's great. And anyway, just hi cousins, and I'm the outlaw, but hi cousins, and great to see you all. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ellie.
Couple minutes.
Okay, I think looks like there's one person that's sending me something to read on their behalf. But otherwise, maybe we'll hang out for another minute or two, see if anyone has anything to share.
Charlie, while you're doing that, I just want to, I was just told yesterday by my youngest daughter, who's 33, that she's 15 weeks pregnant. So I wanted to share that we have the Goodmanson clan or DNA is going to continue for a couple more generations. So I wanted to share that with family.
Great. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
It's funny when Mom went into the nursing home, I got to go through the boxes and boxes and boxes of pictures. And over the years, she'd actually been sorting them. So to see them from the 40s, the 30s, the 20s, it's funny how the facial similarities, even though they're different generations, has carried through. It's amazing. I look at my grandson Wyatt and I say, wow, that's your Uncle Larry. Like, it's just amazing. So there is very strong DNA in the Goodmanson genes, that's for sure.
Hey, Charlie, did you see the messages from Ellie and Sean? Maybe you want to read those.
Yeah. Or is Dinah here? Okay, I'll go ahead and read them. Is that all right, Dinah? Or?
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So these are messages from Ellie and Sean, who are Dinah's children and Mom's grandchildren. So the one from Ellie is, this is Ellie, Chris's granddaughter. She was caring, loving, and kind. Over the phone, she would always say, I'm the best granddaughter. Then Sean says Sean would like to share that he loved it. And then she took him to the toy store. So she always took them to the dollar store, and they always were able to pick out one toy themselves, or one toy for each of them. And then I have one more to share. This is from Andrew. He says his microphone is having issues. This is from Andrew, who's my good friend for a long time. And then Susan and Rob's son. Susan spoke at the very beginning. So this is what Andrew says. He says, hello, my name is Andrew Barry. I've been friends with Charlie since grade school. Charlie and I would spend a lot of time at his house playing video games, throwing frisbee in the backyard, riding our bikes, and doing light construction work on his treehouse in the woods that at places engulfed his neighborhood. During my visits, I had several opportunities to talk to Chris, and she wouldn't be condescending, and I always got the feeling that she treated everyone as a peer, and I really appreciated that about her. She didn't act like she was an adult and I was a kid. It just always felt like she treated me with the respect in a way that really was rare at the time. So thank you for that, Andrew.
I'd like to piggyback onto what Andrew said and what Ellie said. Our parents never talked to us like we were children. We were all we were all on the same level. We all had great respect for each other. And I think that is, evidenced from what I've been hearing today. And I'm so happy that it's being passed down along from our generation and into future generations. So I don't know how much of it's the Icelandic connection, but I lived in Iceland for a year, and I think that people in Iceland they just treat each other as equals. So I think I'm happy that was passed along to Charlie and his friends and to everybody else that she knew. And she also, I don't know if Frank's still here, but she was so proud of her job at Denark. Every time she talked to me, she told me about all the great stuff that you were doing there. And it's equally for Rotary. We went on a trip together 2 years ago, and she just couldn't stop talking about how wonderful the experiences that she had with Denark were. Her 2 trips to India and then to Korea, and all of the, it sounded like the Rotary was doing so many things for so many people. So, so we'll just have to pass along her heritage and our heritage all together. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Vicki. Okay. Would anyone else? I don't want to, like cut people off, or I don't want to. Okay, actually, it looks like we have another one. I'm gonna. Well, Sharon, would you like me to read that out for you as well, or? Okay, so there's a.
Charlie?
Yeah.
Diana, Charlie. I'd like to pass on a story.
Okay.
It makes me cry every time I tell it. Our first daughter, Tina, and you can see Tina, she's there. Or she's here with us on screen here. I remember we did natural childbirth together, and I remember being in the delivery room expecting Tina. And when Tina came out, the fact that she had Down syndrome surprised everybody, including the they call a doctor that delivers
obstetrician.
I'm sorry, obstetrician that delivered Tina. And he was the obstetrician that Chris had gone to see during her pregnancy. So he was really surprised that she came out Down syndrome. So I didn't know. when you know what she was like when she came out. I was there. She was a dark purple in color, and they whisked her away out of the room. And Chris was having some problems after delivery, and they were attending to her. And a nurse came up and tapped me on the shoulder and said she'd like to, she'd like to talk to me outside the room. So took me down the hallway and sat me down and said that Tina was born with Down syndrome. And I had no idea what that was. So they explained it to me. And I didn't know what to do. Chris had such expectations with this birth. She had had 1 or 2 failed pregnancies before that. And so she was very delighted and excited about Tina coming along, not knowing that she had Down syndrome, but that doesn't matter. So I said, what do we do? And the nurse said, well, we have to tell your wife. And so she left it up to me, I guess. And I said, I don't know. We need to wait. So we waited a little bit. So finally, probably I don't know, maybe an hour after Tina was born, Tina had been taken to a private room in the hospital. And so I told the doctor, I said, I can't tell her. Can you tell her, please? And so the doctor said to Chris that Tina is fine. She was born 1 or 2 months premature. I can't remember, one of those 2. But she has Down syndrome. And Chris started crying. And I thought, well, yeah. And when she stopped crying, she said, that's wonderful. I thought she had died because it had taken you so long to come to the room. So that was a bittersweet moment. And she was very, very happy at that moment. And it was difficult raising Tina, especially for her. She was the mother. But she truly loved Tina. And I don't know what Tina knows about what's happened to Chris. I don't even know if Tina knows who she and I are. I don't know if she understands the concept, the idea of what a biological parent is, except for somebody who comes around and sees her and loves her, and she loves back in return. And I would like to say, and I don't think Crystal is on anymore, but I would, well, she is, yeah, I'm sorry, because Tina's on. I would like to say that Crystal and Eric have done just wonderful, wonderful things for Tina, taking such good care of Tina. And well, thank you, Crystal and Eric.
Thank you, Dad. Okay, is there, would anyone else like to speak? We also have a little closing thing, but I want to make sure everyone has a chance to talk, because sometimes it takes a minute to kind of get ready to talk and get the courage up. But we'll give them maybe another minute, see if anyone else would like to talk, or if someone wants to volunteer now. Otherwise, we can kind of move to the closing.
Does pressing unmute? Am I on?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. I wanted to say a couple of quick things. I wrote a letter to you and Diana about my memories of your mom, so I feel like I've kind of had my say. But one thing I remember about her was she and Vicky and Lori came to visit when my mom was still alive. They came to see us in Spokane, and we had a wonderful visit, and they left. And while they were here, I was having some problems with my hip, and I didn't know at the time what was wrong with it. But I remember a few weeks after they left, Chrissy wrote to me and wanted to know how my hip was. It was just a short note, "How is your hip?" And then a few weeks later, she wrote again, "How are you feeling?" And it was just so completely thoughtful and sweet of her. And it made me feel so good that she was thinking about me. And I wanted to say to Dave, one of the last conversations I had with Chrissy, Dave's name came up, I think, because they had both gone to some family event together, and she was telling me that they still did that. And I commented that Dave was always very, very nice to me. And she said that in a very sincere way, she said, "Dave is really a nice guy." And I thought that was a wonderful insight into her heart. How I think that I've heard the saying that where much is given, much is expected. And Chrissy was given a lot. She was beautiful and she was smart and very level-headed. And she lived up to that and went beyond that because she was extremely kind, even as a child. And that's when you kind of see people's real character sometimes is when they're children. And she was always very kind. And I know we're all going to miss her.
Thank you, Karen. Okay. I don't want to, make anyone miss an opportunity, but would anyone else like to say something? Okay. I've asked David Bluford to give a quick blessing for Mom. If you are, please.
Thank you, Charlie. And it's certainly a privilege and an honor to share just a thought and a prayer as we have this time together. And so I do want to pray. God, we come together thanking you that we can be together, even in the midst of all that's happened around us. We thank you that we can connect this way from people all around this world. That just reminds us of what we've been given in the life of Chris, who shared with us. We thank you that we have that privilege of connection. And God, we thank you for the gift of life that has been given to us in her, and realizing that gift continues on within each one of us because we've been touched by her, blessed by her, and the gift that she shared with us. May we recognize now the gift is ours to continue to share, even as she would want us to do that, to lift up one another, to support each other, to care for each other, and to continue this journey of life that we have in the best way that we possibly can. We thank you for that gift, and now we honor that gift by the way that we live from this day forward and share in her memory and in her honor. Thank you, God, that we can do this. Now bless us as we go forward, because we pray in your name. Amen.
Thank you, David.
Amen.
Okay, so I guess I just want to say again, on behalf of my sister and all our family, thank you guys very much for coming and attending. I think, everyone's words and everyone's presence has made this very special. So I appreciate that. Yeah, and I guess if anyone, I don't know if anyone has anything to say, but otherwise I think we can, call it a ceremony. Yeah, and I said this before, but if you have something that you want to share that maybe you didn't feel like sharing it out loud, you can either post it on her obituary, which is in the comments, or If you want to send, if you just want to say something to the family that's not public, you also can just send words to that email address that sent out this invite. And, you know, I can make sure that the family sees that being part of the family, of course. And then, or same with pictures. If you have pictures you want to share, you're more than welcome to send them to that address or post them in the, I don't know if you can post them in the obituary comments, but yeah. Anything else?
Also, I posted that wonderful column by Tom King about my mom in the comments, the chat as well. So if you look through there, you'll see that.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you all.
Thank you guys all. Very good. Very, very special.
Take care.
Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Diane. Thanks, cousins.
Yeah, good to see everybody. Thank you so much. Thanks, Charlie and Diana.
Thanks, Charlie, Diana.
Okay, bless everybody. Thank you.
Thanks, Vicky. Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Numbers in Rotary Towers.
Mhm.